Hey everybody, this is King Octavius. I'm going to do something slightly different for this episode of StarCraft 2 Noob, and I feel like I say that every time now. That's kind of weird, but what I'm going to do, since if you saw my most recent post, I don't suck too bad anymore, I am going to, instead of analyzing another one of my losses and trying to figure out what the hell went wrong, I'm going to show you a build that I've been working on, and hopefully I'm going to do some more of these more sort of tutorial videos to try to show you guys some build orders that will hopefully help you out the same way that they've helped me out. So this is what I've been working on. So this is a TVT build, purely TVT. I wouldn't recommend it for any other Terran versus anything else. And the goal of this build is to get your expansion up fairly early without getting it too fast, keeping yourself safe against most pressure at the same time, and also being able to harass your opponent a little bit, kill off a few SCVs possibly, and slow down their build while you set yourself up for the mid game, and also keep yourself fairly well protected at the same time. This will not in most cases kill off your opponent right off the bat, and it also would not hold up. Well, I haven't tried it. I highly doubt this would hold up against like a 3-Rax or something like that. So if you suspect a 3-Rax or if you scout a 3-Rax, you're going to want to change your plan pretty much immediately. This first SCV we're going to send scouting, so hit the waypoints on that, and we're gonna these first few minutes of the build are pretty standard. As far as the timings go, you might notice that I am going to discuss a lot of them in terms of when you can afford things, when you have the money, as opposed to what your specific supply is. That works a lot better for me, just knowing the order and building stuff when I can afford to do so, as opposed to memorizing each point of the supply, what you're supposed to be doing. But I'll try to discuss both of them as I do this. I'm going to get your refinery when you can afford it, which is typically around 13 supply if you're doing it right. And once again, up until now, everything's pretty standard. You might notice I'm doing this one notch slower speed than usual. That's just so that I have enough time to talk about this and to tell you everything I have to say as I demonstrate the build. So we're going to get these two guys, go ahead and send him there. We're going to get our 3 SCVs on gas as soon as we can. And we're going to get that, I don't know why I got the SCV going. We're going to get the first Marine out and get our orbital command going as soon as possible. Then we're going to get down our next supply depot. Everything's going pretty smoothly so far. If I haven't said this already, I'm really bad about talking and playing at the same time, so there may be a few hiccups in my play. Just forgive me if that's the case, because I'm really bad at talking while I play. So one thing you may have noticed, instead of getting the tech lab, I'm just pumping Marines out of that first barracks. I know a lot of times people like to go ahead and get that tech lab as soon as possible, but for this build, that really leaves you way too vulnerable against early pressure. So still pretty standard build. Now you notice I got this factory as soon as I could, which was, I didn't see right exactly, it was probably around 17 or 18 supply. I'll post the build order in the description for the video. But you want to get that as soon as you can. Right around the 4-minute mark, you want to get your second barracks, or else, once again, if you don't do that, you're left very vulnerable to basically any early pressure that the opponent's going to put on. So you want to just be pumping those Marines out this whole time. This factory, as soon as this factory finishes, we're going to build the starport. Now, the factory you want to build slightly, well, you want to build it where you think your opponent is going to be least likely to scan, because this tech lab that we're getting on the factory, which you want to start building as soon as you get your starport going, this tech lab is going to be the tech lab we're going to use actually for the starport to get that Banshee going. So, what else? Got that barracks finishing right now. Gonna go ahead and get another Marine going there. I might have missed the timing on that SCV a little bit. Now, since I don't know exactly what my opponent's doing, since they did a pretty good job of denying my scout there, I am going to go ahead and put a bunker down. Obviously, that delays the timing for your second command center a little bit, but it's better to play it safe and have your command center a little bit delayed than to just get outright killed as soon as your opponent attacks you for the first time. And so still just continuing to pump out Marines, and this factory, we're not going to do anything with it yet until we get our expansion going.
This better be good.
No need to, really. So I did get supply blocked, which is obviously a little bit noobish of me. but hopefully that won't be too big of a deal. We'll see how things work out. Notice all of my energy right now, right off the bat, I'm using on mules. That's because unless you are really just unsure about what's happening, excuse me while I hold this off. Okay, good. So this did hold off that early pressure, and so that's great. This works exactly like it's supposed to, and I didn't just fail horribly. I am playing against very hard AI, by the way. And so I don't know what I was saying, but once this Banshee comes out, you're gonna want to micro it over here and start doing some harass. This factory you can go ahead and produce a Hellion out of. Right around this time, you also want to go ahead and produce your third barracks. And so you just got to keep a close eye on this Banshee. Notice there are some Marines coming up right now, so I'm going to try to get him away from those guys. Make sure you keep building supply depots. Once this first Hellion comes out, I'm going to put a tech lab on that factory so that I can move a barracks over to it and start researching STEM. We'll get doing that right now, in fact. And right about now, your supplies are going to start getting a little bit high, or your minerals are going to start getting a little bit high. You want to make sure you go ahead and get that refinery that I actually forgot about for just a second. And go ahead and build your fourth barracks at the same time. Once again, don't forget to keep making your supply depots. And so once I heard, I don't know what happened with my refinery there. Once I heard that the Mayday, then I just clicked back over to my Banshee real fast and got him out of the way. You don't have to keep your eye on him the whole time, but you obviously do want to keep your eye close enough on the Banshee to keep it safe. So now that that factory's done, we're going to go and switch to orbital command. And I don't know why exactly my minerals are running so high. I guess because something happened with that refinery a minute ago. You can get out a medevac in the meantime. I'm going to go ahead and start researching STEM, and as soon as this orbital command finishes, you're pretty much set up to do whatever you want. You want to go ahead and move over there. Here come Marines. I'm going to move this Banshee out of the way. See, it's just really annoying for a Terran player to have to do that. And it looks like my poor Banshee was not as far away from the Marines as I thought it was. You want to also make sure that you transfer a lot of your SUVs at this time, because if you've been producing the whole time, you're going to be way oversaturated, as you can see I am. Right around this time also, you'll want to probably start getting a tech lab on that factory. You know, depending on what you want to do. Most people at this time will want to transition into tanks, and so obviously you need that tech lab to be able to do that. And from here, that's pretty much the build. I might play it and just see what kind of pressure I can apply right now with the army that I do have. But that's pretty much the build. This is where I guess the idea behind the build stops. You want to just you know, from here transition into pretty much whatever you want to transition into. Notice I am able to hold off this pressure flow and move these SCVs out of the way for a minute, and that's actually pretty much going to be the end of my opponent. So if you didn't win right here, which in most cases you probably won't, you'll want to just, it's up to you what you want to transition into. You can move into tanks, which is probably what a lot of people are going to do. You can do like more mech play if you want, and my minerals are getting really high. I'm not really worried about keeping my macro up anymore since I've demonstrated the build. Obviously, if you're going Marines, you want to put down, you know, like maybe 3 or 4 more barracks, do whatever you want to want. Do whatever you want to do with that, get some more refineries going. If you want to keep going with the Banshees, you can do that. If you want to go more tank heavy, you know, you can build another factory. It's up to you. The point of this build is to set yourself up to do whatever you want, while denying your opponent to do the same thing, and also giving yourself a solid economic advantage. So in fact, in this case, I'm actually going to pretty much be able to stomp my opponent because I was able to defend so well against their first couple of attacks, and at the same time I was able to kill lots of SCVs while I did so. So that's pretty much it for this build. Let me know if this was actually helpful to you. I'd like to know whether this actually helped people or if I'm just wasting my time and it's doing no good. Let me know if it helped it. Let me know if you liked it. As always, if you have any insults, please leave those in the comment section as well. And I hope this did help you out, especially if you're, you know, in like bronze, silver, gold, that range. But once again, I guess that's it for this video. Let me know how you liked it, and I'll see you next time.